Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Stone Mandalorian. I'm the Stone Mando. Appreciate y'all tuning into the video, to the review today. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Greedo from the Power of the Force subline, which is still considered the Black Series. It's just something that they did kind of as the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. They used this old school card back for the 3.75-inch figures and released it for this Black Series figure. Give this box a spin so y'all can check out the rest of the box. And the Power of the Force boxes, they're very nostalgic. Early 2000s figures and stuff like that. But really cool, gives you a little kind of bio of the character on the back. And I've been waiting for this figure to kind of drop on the clearance for a long time. I couldn't find them for under 35 bucks, 40 bucks. And I just didn't want to spend that much for a little bit of an older figure. He did come out early on the line, like I want to say like maybe even 2014 or maybe even 13. I'm not, maybe at the beginning of the line. I can't really remember, but just super happy to finally have this figure. This character is just very nostalgic and an iconic part of A New Hope. By the way, Han shot first. I don't care what the new updated uh, basically what I'm trying to say is Han shot first. I don't care what George Lucas went in and changed around or whatever all on the newly updated versions of the movies, but Han shot first, motherfucker. But super happy to finally have Greedo, man. Like I said, just a very iconic part of A New Hope. That bar scene in the canteen when he comes in and I forget the bartender's name, but he shoots Greedo. Sorry for the mess, but just super awesome. I'm very excited to finally have him. But let me quit babbling, running my gums, and let me open this thing and check out this badass figure, man. All right, y'all. Here's Greedo out of the box and looking pretty outstanding, man. Got some nice paint apps on this figure. He came out around like 2013 or 2014. Now, he was like one of the first figures in the line among not the first, but among the first figures in the line. As you can see, he's got the older double joint pinned knees and some not really that great articulation in the elbows. You can get right at 90, not really much below. Uh, so the elbows do suck on this figure. Also had the old school like ball hinge for the shoulders, no butterfly joints. This being an older figure, obviously didn't have butterfly joints in 2013, 2014 when this came out, but the sculpt on Greedo's head looks fantastic. His hands look amazing, really like freaky alien looking. The long fingers look great. I like the color of his skin, that darker green. My one nitpick is I wish the eyes were more of like that kind of glowy, like transparency kind of color. Almost, I wish they could have done for this. Maybe not the same. I don't want to call it a gimmick, but not the same idea behind it. But if you've ever seen 4LOM or 4LOM, however you say it, if you've seen his eyes, that kind of greenish, like yellow blue look to his eyes and the way it kind of glows. It would have been cool to get something like that with Greedo because Rodian's eyes, they have really like it almost looks like if you look into a Rodian's eyes, it's almost like a galaxy or something. They have very interesting eyes. Rodian's a really cool species, but let me go ahead and we'll take a closer look at the articulation, which is somewhat limited because this is an older figure, like I stated, and we'll look at the paint apps and the sculpting and overall, just the figure itself. Just getting a closer look at him. I guess first we'll go over some of the closer details here. So I really like the belt here. His holster looks great. Got some very nice paint apps on this. Got kind of I don't know if it's the plastic itself or if there's a wash on this, but it looks fantastic. It does a very good job emulating the look of leather. Got some nice silver paint apps here. Silver on here on the belt as well. The yellow goes all the way from the legs on the side all the way up. Underneath this orange jacket, which also has some nice sculpting. Got some nice pockets here, some nice wrinkles. More paint here. Get into the back of the figure. This was just kind of probably put this in some hot water and try to bend it back in place. It got a little warped from being in the packaging, but very interesting looking head sculpt. They did a pretty good job with this. Again, my only thing is just the eyes. I would have liked to seen something a little more glowy. I don't know. Getting down to the legs here. You can barely see the pins in here, but they're there. Got some nice texture on the shoes here. Here's the rest of the belt up underneath the jacket here. Got some more silver. That's nice. Very cleanly applied. And now getting on to the articulation here. So we'll start. Oh, whoops. So we'll start off. Oh, I almost forgot to show off his blaster. Let me show this because back in the day when the Black Series first came out, or first was starting up, they used to do a lot of dry brushing on their weapons, and they've kind of gotten away from that. They started molding, molding a lot of their weapons in this like new gray, like sparkly gray plastic. But as you can see here, like you see this black, and it's got some nice silver dry brushing on it. I wish they would get back to doing this. Got some nice dry brushing on there. So there is his weapon. I'm going to slide this back in here so it doesn't go anywhere. And it also fits in the holster very nicely. Like a glove. Perfect. Getting down to the articulation here. Guess I'll start off with the legs. So we can get a pretty good split going. Not very much, but not too bad. This holster is a soft plastic, so it doesn't inhibit the legs very much. Double jointed pin knees, so you can get below 90. Feet can go down pretty far. They can come up, not a whole lot, decent little amount. And of course, there's swivel, ankle swivel. There's thigh swivel, two mid thigh cuts on both legs. A little bit of rotation here, diaphragm rotation or ab crunch, whatever you'd like to call it. Not really a whole lot of crunch going back and forth, but there is some rotation. Not really a whole lot of side to side. Getting to the arms here, as you can see, this cut right here, it's not really that deep compared to some of the newer figures, so that is going to limit your articulation. As you can see, when I'm moving it up, that's all you're going to get. So right at 90, but better than some figures. Some figures they can barely get to like right there, like at an obtuse angle. But for 2013, not too bad. Oh, of course, there also is elbow swivel. We got a horizontal hinge on the right hand and on the left hand as well. And look at his hands. His hands are just so cool, man. The long fingers. Very cool sculpting on this figure. No butterfly joints. This is an older figure from 2013-14, like I stated earlier. You can get a nice T position out of Greedo here. Arm spin 360 degrees. And like I said, do have some rotation. I get into the head. You can't really look up or down. That's about as much as you're going to get. And there's no head tilt either. So, but he does spin 360 degrees. So not a whole lot to rant or rave about articulation wise because this is an older figure. But that being said, for this being at the beginning of the line, I don't want to say it's a terrible figure in comparison to today's like modern articulation and what we're used to in the Black Series today. You know, it's definitely limited, but I feel like it still holds up well. The sculpt of Greedo is great. Like you know who this is as soon as you see it on the shelf. The outfit I feel like could use a little bit more of a. I feel like he'd be a little bit more dirty spending his time on Tatooine or just bounty hunting in general. I feel like his jacket and his like I don't know flight suit, I guess I'd say, could use like a nice dark wash. Let's see if we can do the Michael Jackson lean. But no, I really do feel like this figure could benefit from a wash on it. But the paint apps are really decent too. Like the eyes are very cleanly done. The sculpt is incredible. All the texture on his head here. Very nice. I like the holster. Like it's got a very nice leather look to it. The silver on his belt is very, very cleanly applied. I like how shiny and chromy it looks. Not a bad figure, man. For 2013, not terrible, man. Not by any means. And now we're getting into the side-by-side comparisons. And here on the right, as you can see, I have the one and only Ewok Wicket. And on the left, I have the AT-AT driver. Mos Eisley Spaceport. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Now we're in the cantina now, baby. On the right here we got Ponda Baba, and on the left is Dr. Evazan. Now standing on the right I have Grand Moff Tarkin, and on the left is the 2020 Stormtrooper. Now on the right here I have A New Hope Vader, and on the left is the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Power of the Force, Farm Boy Luke Skywalker. And now for the end of the side by sides here on the right I have the Archive Chewbacca, and on the left is oh shit, wait. Sorry, wrong universe. On the left here is Han Solo. So even though this figure came out like at the beginning of the line towards 2013, 2014, I still feel like every Star Wars fan, especially the OT fans, should have this figure on their shelf. Just a very, I don't want to say deep cut character because he's got such that big scene in the cantina with Han Solo, kind of made him well known, but nonetheless he is a background character, so I'm going to go ahead and say deep cut because why not? But like I said, this being an older figure, you're talking 10 years old now at this time, 9 or 10 years old. The sculpting is it's definitely dated. There's no doubt about that. But it is not a terrible figure. It still looks great on the shelf. The posability is there if you know how to move the figure. The sculpting is really, really great. I love there's no mistaking this for a Rodian. Hasbro always kills it with droids and aliens, and once again, no exception. Greedo, they did a bang up job with him. Back in the day, also they were a lot more. They weren't as stingy with paint when the line first started, and this figure is loaded down with paint. Like I said, the eyes look great. The holster, all the silver on his belt, the dry brushing on his blaster itself. Slight little bit of weathering and wash on the suit, not a whole lot, but I think it looks pretty great for this to be a 10-year-old figure. But like I said, if you're an OT fan or just like you need some more alien and some diversity, some color on your shelf, this figure is where it's at, man. I was actually lucky. I snagged him up on Amazon for $25, and for a while it was hard to see him for under 35, 40, and I just wasn't trying to spend that much on a 10-year-old figure. But I'm glad I have him now, especially for $25, man. But that pretty much wraps it up for this review. I appreciate you all tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the force be with you.